so you can see the 15 years difference. And I said, Ralph, do you remember anything that you would like to say that could get a chuckle? And he said, remember, I don't even remember Damon. We have a family letter that goes around, and Ralph wrote and said, I'm setting up a croquet set, a gazebo. And when the letter came to Damon, he says, you know, I play a pretty good game of croquet, but tell me, how in tarnation do you play gazebo?
I still want to know.
Damon, it's in the family letter. You will know the answer to that when it gets back.
All right. Looks like I'm a little dumb, Ralph.
No. We feel sorry for old Dave because he waited 50 years to be able to sit around and reminisce, and then he says, I can't remember a dang thing. But I'm not going to tell anything but what's good about Dave, and believe you me, these are good. We were out to Ralph and Pearl's family reunion, and he went into their bathroom and took a shower. Their bathroom has mirrors all the way around. And when he came out of the shower, there was just no place for him to hide. And he told us at the breakfast table, I just am sure that I'm not body beautiful.
Oh, that was an old thing.
As we were growing up on the farm, you know, Damon was the oldest. And Ma had a good crop of turnips. And she said to Damon, you hook up old Nellie and you take these turnips into town and sell them. And she told him about what he would get for them, but when he sold them, he got a lot more. So he said, I'm going to surprise Ma. So he went into the store and bought him a whole new outfit. Suit, underwear, shoes, the whole works. He was going home, he came to a stream and it looked inviting, so he got out to take a swim. And he had an idea. He just took off his old clothes and threw them in the stream and watched them float down the stream. When he got through, he went back to the wagon to get his suit, and somebody had stolen it. He got up on the wagon and said, get up, Nellie, we'll surprise Ma anyway. One of our recent family letters, I was remembering all the horses that we had on the farm. And I said, and I said we had one mule on the farm by a mare named Dolly. And I said, I don't remember who had the jack that we bred Dolly to bring that mule. And here's the way Damon answered it. The neighbor that owned the jack that Dolly was bred to that produced the mule, Jude, was Mr. Wheeler.
What was wrong with that?
Very precise.
I also reminded Damon, I said, do you remember when you were run over by a horse and you got your arm broken and you fainted and Dad said, get some water quick. Well, I ran to the house and got a little pan and run back to the horse tank, passed Damon all the way to get some water.
Right by me.
Damon said, yeah, you sure got it, and you threw it right in my face, and I sure did come to.
Shoot.
I don't know if any of you read this fellow Grizzard in the Rocky Mountain News. He writes every Saturday. And he was complaining about the traffic, and as I called him and talked to him, I found out that he was talking about driving right up there by the lake in Nebraska. I finally decided it must have been deep. And he said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to mount a machine gun in each of my front lights. And when I come up behind some old man with a hat on driving 30 miles an hour in the fast lane, I'm going to let him have it.
Didn't mean me.
Old Damon is still going strong, physically, that is. His face looks like he's worn out 4 bodies.
Not so, is it, Bob?
The little girl at church said, Brother Ward, were you in the ark? And he said, no, I wasn't in the ark. She said, well, how come you didn't drown?
Charlie, I think some of this they're talking about you instead of me.
Damon was not always in the bucks. When he first came to Denver, he was financially. So he went to a blood bank and sold some blood. He took some blood and gave him $10. He got up off of the table and took a few steps and fainted, and he had to give him a blood transfusion, and it cost him $25.
Oh, it made money in those days.
He went to the doctor, and he said, now tell me the truth, doctor. I want to know. The doctor said, you're in good shape. Three out of 4 people die with this malady, and you're the 4th one.
Think on somebody else a while.
And David was about the 2nd or 3rd grade. The teacher, Mr. Ayers, asked him to write a little item on a frog. He said, what a funny bird the frog are. He don't sit almost hardly. When he sits, he lies most, and when he hops, he flies most, and he don't have no sense at all, do he?
That was back.
I think maybe Dan might have something he might.
Well, surely he don't know any more than you do.
Well, I can go back. Yeah, he's considerably older than I am.
13 months to be exact. I happen to know.
Well, when just us 4 older kids was all that there was in the family, and Dee being the oldest, we lived in a half dugout, and this is straight stuff. We lived in a half dugout with a soddy kitchen. And you had to go up out of the dugout, and there was a breezeway in between the top of the steps and the kitchen, and we rushed through there, especially in the wintertime, to get up there to eat breakfast and so forth. So one morning, Dad, he always, and they were Papa and Mama in those days. It wasn't Dad and Mom, it was Papa and Mama. And so Papa went up to build a fire in the cook stove. And Mama always waited downstairs until the kitchen got warm, and then she went up to cook dinner with her breakfast. Well, she sent Damon up to see how things was going, and he came right back down, and Mama said, well, son, is the kitchen warm yet? And he said, no, Papa just now got the star party.
This part is getting rough.
When Mama told Dad about it and died of laughing, well, she scolded Mama for telling it in front of the kids.
Well, Gracie, you know, is one growing up with 3 older brothers. She had kind of a rough time. And she wrote a poem about it, and I think I'll ask her to get up here.
4 older brothers.
4 older brothers.
Yeah. Just last night, who was I telling about the poem that Grace wrote about us kids?
Yeah.
I'm glad you brought that.
You felt real good about it.
Yes,
didn't you,
sir.
For a while.
Yeah. This is my sister Grace. Glad she brought that along.
Well, let me stand behind Damon so he can't hit me.